Hello everyone, and we're on episode 6 already. My god. Not really much has gone on, like, building-wise, between this episode and last. I sealed off the pump room, like, filled it in, rather. So, you know, it looks nicer, and I got a reservoir here for the water. RotaryCraft reservoirs are definitely handy to have because each block can store, as you can see, up to 64 buckets of water, as opposed to what most tanks do, which is like 16, I think. And they can be stacked horizontally to create, you know, massive vats if you want them. And this thing filled up pretty fast. I think there's a lot of pressure built up in the pipes, so we don't have to deal with a lot of problems in the water area, at least. So, what are we going to do today? Well, I have been busy making a bunch of steel and also processing our ores. What I want to make with all this is a grinder setup. Grinders from RotaryCraft can triple ores, which, as you might imagine, is very useful. So what we're going to need is some more shaft junctions, definitely. Get the shafts as well, just in case. And we're going to also need we got some cobblestone for the steam engines that we're going to use to run it. Right now we're just going to shaft junction 4 steam engines together. Again, the shaft junctions can only handle up to 4 engines at a time. This looks kind of dark, so I'm going to make sure that nothing can spawn in here. Okay, it doesn't seem to. So, with that out of the way, we're going to make some more shaft junctions. We're going to need some more base panels and shaft units. I didn't actually bother calculating this. I'm just, kind of doing it at random. If I have anything left over, it can be used to make other things. Let's see here. And that should give us more than enough. Yes, excellent. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's see here. We'll need 4 of these. We're probably going to need some more glass to make more of those liquid pipes, which we've already got. And anything else I think we're going to need? Netherrack. Got my flint and steel. I really wish this thing would search properly, because it's quite annoying. Actually, you know what? Let's say screw this. Radio tabs, RotaryCraft. There we go. Now then, where is this little thing? DC steam. Right. You need 4 impellers, which means we're going to need 4 gears. Glitchy bloody thing. Alright. And there we go. And we've got our impellers. So we've gotten those. Steamy. Where are you, Steamy? I really should keep better track of where things are. It'd help if they didn't, constantly add and subtract things. Alright, we're going to need 4 condensers, which means we're going to need that and that, I believe. Yes, got those 4 condensers. We've got our shafts that we're going to need. Put those there. And we're going to need more base panels. And that should be all we need, I believe. we go. We got that. Put that there. That there. That there. Boing, 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 and bingo. We have our engines. And we can store leftovers, especially the gears and whatnot, over in here, along with those. And there we go. Now then, we get our 4 steam engines hooked up. We're going to need to give them some water, obviously. Actually, I think I'll do it from the other side. Not exactly sure if I need a suction pipe or anything like that. But what we'll do is we'll get our steam engines obviously facing the wrong friggin' direction, because why not? That's fine. There we go. We should just be able to kind of trigger an update here. Let's see if it is... Let's see here. Suction pipe. That's a lubricant hose. That is not what we need. I wish NEI weren't so friggin' glitchy. There we go, suction pipe. Sandstone, okay. 6 sandstone we'll need. That's 2, 3, so we'll need another 12. And we got our 6 sandstone, get 3 glass, and we'll get suction pipes. That should be sucking the water out of it, which it is not. Do I need to go at it from the bottom here? Excuse my derpiness, I am, seem to have completely forgotten how to do this properly. Give me a sec, I'll be right back once I've got all this figured out. Ah, there we go. Excuse me for being a complete derp. Just needed to put the regular pipe underneath, and it should be draining nice and fine. And once all these are filled up, and the pressure is equalized and all that, we should be seeing, yep, okay, good. Yes, excellent. It's exactly what we need. It's exactly what we want to see. So we're going to dig these blocks out. We're going to grab this cobble. We're going to put it right here. And dig this out. Really didn't want the fluorite, but whatever. Fluorite's not particularly useful right now. Mostly just... Actually, it is exclusively used for RotaryCraft, which isn't something we're really going to be getting into for a while. So, now we're going to work on making a grinder. As you can see, a grinder requires 128 Newton meters of force, which we'll be getting from our four things, or 4 steam engines, and a total of 4 kilowatts of power. And we're going to need 2 saws, which require steel gears and some steel ingots. There we go. We've got the gears, ingots. Do I need? Okay, I just need the base panels. Okay. So we're gonna get our 2 saws that we need. We're gonna get another steel gear. Let's see, we'll need 3 base panels for it. Yes, 3 base panels. Please ignore the zombie upstairs. I really don't want to deal with it at this time. And we've got our grinder. So we store our lovely steel and our suction pipes and all that. I'm going to get a grinder. We're going to put it right here. The grinder receives power only from the back, and do not stand on top of the grinder while it is in operation. This is a very bad thing to do. It can and will kill you. So, we get our shaft junctions up, and I completely forgot that I don't need a junction there. What I need is a set of bevel gears. Bevel gears are how you translate power in RotaryCraft from the horizontal to the vertical plane, or vice versa. And for that, obviously we're going to need some gears, we're going to need shafts and base panels and all that good stuff. We're going to need a total of 5 base panels, a steel gear, 2 shafts, and an ingot of regular steel. Now that we've got our gear, we got our 2 shafts, and we're going to need, there we go, our base panels. And you get 4 bits of bevel gears per crafting, which, of course, extremely handy. Now then, we get all this stored, store the fluorite. We got our bevel gears. And actually, before I finish this, and be careful knocking some of these things, some of these RotaryCraft things out. Certain things like the certain things like mechanisms. Let me finish this. Alright, and you can see here, and you can whack it with a screwdriver to see where the input needs to go, which is black, and output, which is magenta. And once all these are all started up, they'll go and power the grinder. Anywho, you need to be careful when breaking RotaryCraft machines with certain non-standard picks, like things like I don't think the atomic disassembler works with it. I don't know why they don't like one another, but you know, they just don't. And it will destroy the machine instead of picking it up, which, as you might imagine, a bit of a pain in the ass. You know, we don't want that. Alright, now we've got our grinder set up. So we're going to need a couple of things to get it running smoothly. First off, is we're going to need a couple of hoppers. Easy to make. One too many. Well, actually probably a good idea to make 4 chests. There we go. We got our chests. We're going to go over here, get 10 of our iron, and make 2 hoppers. Now you can also use Ender IO conduits, things like that. And you can see now it's running. Wonderful. But anyway, you can use things like Ender IO conduits to power or to input and output from them. Not PneumaticCraft, my god. RotaryCraft also has its own item transport mechanic with pneumatic item pipes, I believe they're called. And even with just a regular DC engine, those things are actually pretty cool. They can work with they can work pretty quickly. Anywho, you just plump your ore in here and wait, and it'll give you 3 flakes per ore, which you can then smelt as normal. This bar on the left here is for lubricant. That is used by gearboxes, converter machines, I think. Oh no, wait, converter machines now require liquid nitrogen, not lubricant, but the turbines in ReactorCraft require lubricant, and you get lubricant by grinding canola seeds down in the grinder. And we'll get that block of coal coke. Yeah, that's fine as it is. Anywho, and that's a great way to, you know, triple what you get out of your ores. I think you can also use it with any ores you silk touch, like as you can see, we just broke down, I think, oh wow, I think we just broke down 3 bits, yeah, 3 bits of uranium. and got some uranium flakes. And bam. 12 uranium flakes, which we can then smelt into uranium ingots. We'll get the rest of our rubbish out here. Diamonds. How does that grind? I think they grind. Yeah, you get diamond ore flakes, which you can then smelt into diamonds. Again, at a 3-to-1 ratio. I'm not sure if you can use the mana infused stuff. I got this as a hell ore, which, as you might imagine, very. I actually don't know what the stuff is for, and apparently it doesn't work with RotaryCraft, which is unfortunate. But you know, not everything does, and that's fine. So we're just gonna plump our ores in here. That way for them to get all nice and ground up. We got our nickel flakes, uranium, and yellorium. You can grind, or rather, there we go. You can grind up, yeah, see, yellorite ore, uranium, into uranium flakes. So they all grind up into the same thing, which is great if you happen to have the config option installed to where Big Reactor is just compatible with any form of any form of ore dictionary uranium. You know, you only ever get one kind of uranium, makes things simpler, takes up less space in your AE network, things like that. And this is the page for the extractor. An extractor is a lot later thing. It has a chance, as you can see, to duplicate per stage. It requires different torques and speeds and power totals per stage, but it has an average chance of quintupling your ores as opposed to simply just tripling or doubling. And also, not all the flakes break down, or rather smelt at a 1-to-1 ratio. Some of them smelt at a 3-to-1. I think redstone flakes, for example, will break down into, or will burn into 3 bits of redstone, I think. But don't quote me on that. So, I'm going to let this work for a little bit, and I'll get back to you guys later. And I return! I've been doing some mining and getting exploded in the face, obviously. The only real downside to the grinder is that it does, at least when you start off, take a little while to grind things down. But once you get some power gen up and running, it gets some extra power going too, but it does speed up quite a bit. That's unpleasant. And also dead. God, I love doing that. I've never been this way. Fascinating. So while it's running, I've been gathering some stuff. I think I might get into some applied energistics so I can get some nice efficient storage, because these just ain't cutting it for me anymore. Honestly, I don't really plan on... Well, I don't know. I might get further into applied energistics and making nice things with it. Nice automated things that people like. That people like me like. I notice I'm ignoring some ores. I tend to do that. I like to focus on 1 or 2 things so I don't overload myself with massive amounts of different ores. Oh, good. 2 things I hate the most combined together. Baby zombies and armed zombies. You might notice that I am digging up cadmium ore. Why am I doing that? I don't necessarily need it right now. In fact, I probably won't be needing it for a while, because It's for ReactorCraft, which, as you might guess, kind of late game. But I would like to have at least some of it squared away, because you will need a lot of it. You'll need a lot of cadmium, indium, and silver to get moving with ReactorCraft. So, you know, gathering those up fairly early will help you out in the long run. Of the other three ores I mentioned, indium is the one that's going to be the most painful to find, I've found. Cadmium, it is kind of difficult to find, but you know, when you find it in relatively okay sized veins. Oh, good. Skeleton with explosive arrows. With armor! Good lord. Am I caught in a Michael Bay movie? What the hell is this? I don't know what you are, but... Ah! Why? Why is everything trying to kill me? Ectoplasm. Huh. Okay. Well, that's a thing. Anywho... Another thing I will like getting started on, hopefully fairly soon, is magical crops. I know a few, actually I know quite a few cheap tricks with magical crops that I can pull to make life a lot easier on us. One of the mods I like the most, because, you know, once I get up a lot of resources, I don't like being forced to have to, you know, go mining all the time, and, you know, I can focus more on the building and the not dying. Which, as you might imagine, is generally what most people do in survival, is try not to die. So, with that said, what is one of my ultimate goals with RotaryCraft, ReactorCraft, that kind of crap? Main goal number one is to get a bedrock axe. Why? When I could get something like, say, an atomic disassembler, or, you know, Tinker's Construct tools a lot easier, why would I want that? The answer is, it is a lumber axe on steroids. It can harvest trees of enormous size, like the mega rubber saplings. It can harvest those in 2 whacks. I'm not even joking. And you do get a lot of rubber from them, which is a very nice thing to have. Especially if, or more likely when, you decide to get an MFR. Mechanism, again, mostly for the atomic disassembler and for the digital miner. Digital miner is a very configurable automated mining system. It doesn't leave big ugly holes in the ground like certain other things, like, say, the Buildcraft Quarry. And it does, if you upgrade it to make it run faster, which, you know, why would you not? It, even with the energy efficiency upgrades and whatnot, it still requires a fair amount of power to run. But it can scan in a very large area, and it can work on its own, and you can even have it replace the blocks that it harvests with things like, say, cobblestone or something like that. So you don't even have small holes to deal with in the world. Now, something like that might seem overpowered to some people, and admittedly, in a way, it kind of is. But, well, hell, that's half the fun. Half the fun is finding those nice little overpowered kind of things. learning to play with them and learning to, learning to enjoy them. Or at least that's how it is for me. Some people don't like that. And I can respect that, Not for everyone. But it makes it to where I don't have to worry about getting into lots of crazy hijinks when, just trying to go out and get ores and, get what I need to get, to get working with stuff. I'm not the kind of guy, I enjoy a challenge, don't get me wrong. I love a good challenge. That's why I love RotaryCraft. But at the same time, I don't like something that's pointlessly challenging. That's pretty much nothing but a grind. It's pointless and boring to me. I'm not fond of that particular style of play. I realize for some people, they like that. That's cool. That's perfectly fine. If that's what you like, that's what you like. There's not really much I'm gonna do to change that. Not much I would want to do. But, I don't like, spending time, especially late game, when I should be, auto mining and, auto exploring and all that. Well, maybe not auto exploring, but, automating things. I should be, doing that kind of crap. I shouldn't have to, go around manually mining things unless I want to. In some cases I do. Some cases I just want to go out and dig a hole. That's fine. That's perfectly acceptable. And with that little diatribe on my philosophy, what do I want to do next? I don't really know. Might work more on RotaryCraft. I definitely want to get more into that. And let's see if I can. Okay, I can't. Not like that anyway. But here, I do want to. Also want to get, like I said, into magical crops. I want to expand my power generation capabilities. Get into applied energistics and things like that. That's a lot of things I want to get into. That's why I have so many mods installed. That, and I'm probably a little bit nuts, but you guys knew that, right? So, I will be signing off for now. I shall return eventually for more adventures and mechanism and RotaryCraft and all that other wonderful little bits of what's this. So, I am signing off, and you guys have fun out there.